You know what game I love? Well, the title of the video might give it away, but it's Pac-Man World 2. This game is an absolute childhood classic of mine. I played this all the time when I was a kid. I like this game so much that I not only have one, not two, but 3 copies of this game. I think this is the most copies I have of any singular game, maybe besides Luigi's Mansion. But, I mean, what can I say? This is a childhood classic, and it's one of my favorite 3D platformers. It's pretty high up there, and obviously, if you watched yesterday's Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase, you'll know that this game is getting a full ground-up remake, and it is looking so good. So today, I'm going to be detailing 10 of the main details of this game that we learned from not just the Nintendo Direct, but also its full trailer that got uploaded to the Nintendo channel as well as the Bandai Namco channel. If you enjoyed this video, definitely make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe, all that stuff down below, and of course, consider becoming a ZakPak member. It would mean a lot to me, and without any further ado, let's just get right on into talking about Pac-Man World 2 Re-Pac. Point number 1 is that it is coming to all platforms. It is coming to Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch 2, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, PS5, and PC. So a pretty extensive list of consoles that it is coming out on. It's quite nice to see it get last gen and current gen support, well, specifically for us in Nintendo Switch. If you don't have a PS5 or an Xbox Series X yet and you haven't upgraded from the PS4 or Xbox One, okay, sure. But nonetheless, it's great to see it coming out on so many different things. The second point is that there's actually 2 different editions of this game that you can pick up. There's the Standard Edition, and then there's the Deluxe Edition. Now, the Standard Edition will set you back about 30 bucks, $29.99 plus tax to be exact. I think that is a pretty fair price for this game, given the fact that it's a ground-up remake, and it looks like a really freaking solid one. But if you want to get the Deluxe Edition, that'll set you back 40 bucks, so $10 more than the Standard Edition. And this game is available both digitally as well as physically, though keep in mind for Nintendo Switch 2 users that the Nintendo Switch 2 physical copy is a key card, so there's no actual game data on the cartridge, you have to still download it. But for the rest of the consoles, that's not really relevant. It'll be on the disc, you know, for all the other consoles, and on the cartridge for the Nintendo Switch 1 version. Point number 3 is all of the content that the Deluxe Edition contains. Now, it contains some costumes and statues that you can put around Pac Village or make Pac-Man wear. Keep in mind that all of these costumes seem to be something that you can actually unlock through the game. So basically, this is just paying to get those costumes without actually having to do the work to earn them. I don't really like that. The bonus I do like, though, is that it seems like you actually get extra content. Seems like there might be some bonus stages, some bonus costumes, and just different things in a collaboration DLC pack, which will be coming out in the future, that you will get with getting the DLC. Mind you, that DLC doesn't drop at launch, it seemingly drops in the winter, so you will have to wait until the winter to get that DLC, but if you get the Deluxe Edition, you seemingly get that DLC for free. Detail number 4 is if you actually own a copy of Pac-Man World Re-Pac, the original Pac-Man World Re-Pac, then you get a cute little bonus for free in Pac-Man World 2 Re-Pac, being that you unlock a costume for Pac-Man of Pacman, who is the main villain in the original Pac-Man World game. This is a pretty cute little bonus for people who played the original Pac-Man World Re-Pac game. It's a nice little treat that rewards the loyalty, and I have Pac-Man World Re-Pac, so I'll obviously be getting this bonus, so that's pretty cool. Point number 5 is something that I feel like not a lot of people have considered, is that the fact that this game is completely rebuilt from the ground up. Looking at GameXplain's visual differences between Pac-Man World 2 and Pac-Man World 2 Re-Pac, it is very clear that this game is a completely different beast, completely rebuilt, and I feel like visually it got a huge overhaul because of it, and the game just looks absolutely gorgeous. I'm also assuming because of the fact that the game was built from the ground up, it might feel a little bit different to play, which could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on how much you liked how it felt to play the original World 2. It was a great game, but it did have its flaws, so I'm excited to see how this game handles a lot of the original game's flaws. Point number 6 is another really interesting one. Originally, Pac-Man did not have a voice in Pac-Man World 2. He did not get a voice until Pac-Man World 3, and it seems that the original voice actor who voiced Pac-Man in Pac-Man World 3 has come back to reprise his role as Pac-Man and given him a voice for Pac-Man World 2. So I'm pretty interested to see how this goes. I originally did not care for this, hearing that he has a voice, in this game, mostly because of the fact that with Pac-Man World 3, I found a lot of the Pac-Man dialogue a bit annoying. But from what we've seen in the trailer, it looks decent, it looks pretty good, so I'm interested to see how it plays out, how it works, and of course, complete props to Martin T. Sherman for coming back to re-voice Pac-Man after all of these years. Like, it's been about 20 years, so it's really cool to see him come back to the role. One of the new features that this game has is that it's added a co-op mode so that you can play with another player. A second player can take control of Pac Drone and basically fly around, and it looks like it could shoot power pellets at different things, different crates, probably different enemies, to assist you and make the game a little bit easier. It's obviously kind of a tacked-on co-op component that isn't required, and is just kind of a cute thing that maybe you would do with like your kid or a younger sibling. That's how I see that co-op mode being fun. It's not like there are two Pac-Men, whatever, roaming around, running around the screen. It's a player and a little CPU thing, kind of like with Mario and Cappy in Mario Odyssey. Think something like that. There are also a couple of different things that they're adding to the game to improve its quality of life a little bit. Firstly, it's adding a little thing, that you can see at the bottom of Pac-Man when he jumps to help guide you and show you where he's gonna land or where he's gonna butt bounce, depending on what you do, and I think that is very great. One flaw the Pac-Man World series has always kind of had is depth perception and actually kind of seeing where you're gonna land, so very exciting to see that we're actually gonna get a visual guide showing us where we are. Secondly, there are different missions that you can complete throughout each level, and doing that will give you rewards. So I'm really interested to see what the different awards are, how many there will be, and it just gives each level a little bit of replayability, which I think is nice. Now, like I said, this game is a ground-up remake, so they have a little more creative liberty to change some things since it's not just a remaster or a port. And it seems like they actually are going in and changing some things. One of the things that I noticed on the Steam page of the game is that it says expanded levels. So I'm wondering if they're actually taking each of the levels and making them a little bit bigger, or adding secret areas to them that maybe players of the original game obviously wouldn't know about. I'm really interested to see what they mean by that. They didn't seem to elaborate on it, at least as far as I could tell. And also, something I noticed is that they actually have changed one of the bosses. The Inky boss fight that happens in the woods, in the dark, spooky woods, which that boss fight freaking stressed me out as a kid. I remember that boss fight. They seem to have changed it from this big, giant ghost saw machine thing to an owl. So it'll be really interesting to see how much they change each of the bosses. I mean, it looks like the frog boss is basically the same as the original Pac-Man World 2. So I'm wondering if they just changed this boss because of like the saws and how violent and actually kind of scary it is. So I'm assuming they changed it for that reason, but there could be other reasons. I don't know, just, little things they seem to be going in and changing, and how much I like them will honestly vary. The owl, I liked the old design, honestly, of the ghost with the saw blades. Again, it made the boss fight menacing, but like I said, because it is a kind of spooky graphic, no pun intended, I do see why they changed it to an owl. And last, but certainly not least, of course, the release date. One of the biggest things that I'm sure many people are wondering about. It is coming out on September 26th of this year. So less than 2 months away, which is actually pretty crazy. They're not giving much time to market this game, but for a game like this, it makes sense to get it out quickly, to not really have to market it up too much, because it's a game that is admittingly pretty niche, and I definitely know that there are a lot of people who are excited for it, but there's equally a lot of people who probably don't need the game, you know, the marketing for it to be drawn out. So I completely get it. So there you guys have it. Those are the main details that I could pick up about Pac-Man World 2 Re-Pac. This game definitely seems to be very faithful to the original game and what it does, but also doing kind of its own thing, taking its own creative liberties and kind of making it stand on its own. I personally think if you liked the original Pac-Man World 2, I mean, given how good the original Pac-Man World Re-Pac was, I have full faith in Bandai Namco and the actual developer of this game, I forgot their name, that this is going to be an excellent title, and I cannot wait for it. Hopefully, they have it playable at PAX West, because Bandai Namco is going to PAX West, and it's the perfect timing to have this game playable. So, I would like to thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe, all that stuff down below. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified of when I upload videos. And of course, consider becoming a ZakPak member. It would truly mean a lot to me. And thank you so much for watching, and until next time, you guys, I'll see you all in the next video.